There definitely are a few good points on why animals should be put in a zoo. However, there are plenty of reasons why they should stay away from zoos as well. My name is Samantha Roush. Yasmin Robinson and myself will be talking about the con side. Being enclosed leads to the animal's insanity. Imagine being locked up in the same room for your whole life, no way to get out, while being put on display for everyone to see, watching you do the most private things, such as using the restroom. Birds show insanity by plucking out their feathers until there is nothing left to pluck. Monkeys, no secret, throw their own feces. While insanity leads to that, it also leads to them eating their own feces as well. Elephants travel for miles and miles in the wild, but in a zoo they are restricted to how far they can walk, causing them to move in the same way all day, every day. Now picture a tiger. You see a tiger running through the wild, making sharp turns and being free, while in a zoo, being confined to one specific area must cause insanity. And who are we to say that zoos give polar bears enough room to swim, while in their natural habitat they have endless ocean water to swim in? Danger. There's danger in the wild, but also in the zoo. Animals fight, that is no secret. However, in the wild, animals have continuous land to escape, whereas being caged up in a little area, there is no chance to escape. While looking in at the exhibit, kids are holding popcorn and whatever they get at the zoo, and they want to feed the tigers, they want to feed the monkeys. While doing so, they could be sabotaging the animal's diet, causing more health problems than there needs to be. And then there is the things that happen to fall out of pockets, such as coins. Like that saying, curiosity killed the cat. They could be starved or poisoned, intentionally or unintentionally. While in the wild, they feed on what they know is good for them, and they stay away from what they know will harm them. Natural disasters happen everywhere. Earthquakes, tornadoes, and tsunamis. It's a way of life. However, how can an animal that is locked up in a cage protect itself from these things? If they are loose, they can go to where their instincts tell them it's safe. While in a zoo, it is law for them to get the basic needs of life. But are they really getting everything they need to be happy? They are given water, food, and shelter. But where are their trees for shade? Where are the rocks to climb on? They are given an enclosed area with no grass, no trees, and just cement, the bare minimum. The cages are just big enough for them to get up and walk around. The animals cannot walk for miles and miles like they can in their natural habitat. While some zoos mistreat these animals, the law enforcement do not do anything about it. They turn their head and neglect to enforce the consequences that the zoos should be facing. The zoos seem to make it look like they care about the animals, but do they really? Think about it. The zoo is making money, and lots of it, every day. They will pay whatever it takes to make sure they will still have an income for the months to come. For the zoos have been raising their prices everywhere, from the ticket booths to the little stuffed bear that you want from the kiosk that is in the middle of the walkway. The general public have been paying more and seeing less of what they are there for. The public wants to see the animals being taken care of, but in a way, the public is seeing that it is okay for the animals to be put in cages all of their life. Yes, everything is cuter when it's smaller, but does that make it right for zoos to get rid of the animals just because nature takes its course and the animals grow? No. Well, that's what some zoos end up doing. Animals, after they are done growing, can be sold, loaned to other places, and often traded for something better. Something that the paying people want to see. And where do these animals end up? They end up in those roadside zoos. They end up being trained for those ridiculous stunts at those circuses. And they end up being put at petting zoos at the fairs. And they end up in those little trailers at the fair where you walk in and see those live monkeys and scary reptiles. There are so many people who agree that zoos are a bad thing and that they went about zoos in the wrong way. Here are just a few statements of what has been said about zoos. By National Geographic Society, a zoo is a place where animals live in captivity and are put on display for people to view. Like I said earlier, being stuck in a room while people watch what you would do normally in private. And then by Alice Walker, the animals of this world exist for their own reasons. They were not made for humans any more than black people were made for whites. What makes it okay for the animals to be suffering in a cage, susceptible to danger, no comfort, and with the chance that today or tomorrow could be their last day at the zoo? Okay for the people to watch, oblivious to what could be happening behind the scenes. By Octavia Butler said, when I was 7 and went to the zoo with my second grade class, I saw chimpanzee eyes for the first time. The eyes of an unhappy animal, all alone, locked in a bare, concrete floor, iron-barred cage in one of the nastier, old-fashioned zoos. I remember looking at the chimp, then looking away. Often people are not speaking up of what they are seeing in zoos. They are more fascinated by the fact that they are in the presence of a giraffe, but are not thinking of how the animal is feeling. People aren't thinking of the animal's happiness. Can they really enjoy the fact that there are thousands of people every day shouting and pointing, while in the wild, they have none of that? And then by Ron Kagan, people's traditional expectation of zoos is that they see lions and tigers and elephants. But it's also their expectations that an animal has a good life while in. I hope this speaks to you because spectators go and view the animals and automatically think that the animals are having the time of their life in a cage. No cement, no trees. There's no way an animal can enjoy living like this. And now it is time for Yasmin Robinson to speak.
My name is Yasmin Robinson, and there are plenty of more reasons to why zoos are not a suitable place for animals. Keeping species that shouldn't be kept captive can cause psychological distress. For example, wild polar bears are confined in spaces that are a million times smaller than their natural Arctic territory. It's like coming to college, downsizing from your own huge room to sharing half of your own space with someone else. Pretty uncomfortable, right? Even look at the picture of the polar bear sitting on pine ashes and not snow. Do they even have a cold enough temperature to keep from getting too hot? Furthermore, even aquatic animals are scarce on water compared to their natural habitat, the ocean. Also, birds are naturally free-range animals, and being kept captive reduces that greatly. With their wings being clipped, it prevents them from flying. Uh, Thank you. From my previous slide, I stressed how being kept captive causes psychological distress, and having a rehab center can be useful because rehab centers can help animals return to their natural state after being captive for so long and only for the use of human pleasures. It also offers free clinical and veterinary help for the animals that are ill and can help the animals that suffer from psychological distress. These kinds of centers also give animals the chance to successfully be reintroduced to the wild. The space given to the animals are larger and less confined than the space given to them in zoos. A way that animals can enjoy themselves and not be kept captive is by having a safari theme park. Safari theme parks are better and more efficient than zoos. For example, animal enclosures are greater in size, which can give the animal more space to roam, like in its natural habitat. It is also less crowded than zoos, and people can navigate more easily. Some people may say it's too wide open and it's too much walking, then they can easily get the little go-karts. Also, there are a larger variety of animals, which can be cool, I guess. And compared to zoos, it can be very educational and offer more activities for children and not just be a human pleasurable idea. This concludes the PowerPoint For and Against Animals in Zoos created by Sydney Mark, Sherilyn Cole, Samantha Roush, and myself.